Erika Kirk is finally responding to all the hate, all the anger, all the theories against her and her husband and her group. Beyond all that, the persecution in Nigeria continues, and we'll get into a very interesting story about a young boy who is running for the governor of Vermont, and he is only 14 years old. All that, and we'll see you on the other side. So Erika Kirk obviously is the wife of Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated, and she is truly going through one of the toughest times. Most of us cannot even imagine what that may be like. Something terrible. It is absolutely horrific what happened, and it should never happen to anyone. No one deserves something that tragic to happen to them. And now she's being totally fed up with how people are acting. Okay? People have been total jerks this whole time, showing just lack of respect, kindness towards her and her family and Turning Point USA. She's already asked multiple people to quit their speculation on her husband's death. It's doing nobody any good whatsoever. This is a grieving widow that people are feeling no pain for or worry. They just continue to disrespect her and her family. Now she's finally responding to the speculation about her husband's burial place, because many people are like, oh, why aren't we able to know where he's buried, all this stuff. They have all these speculations. Maybe he's not dead, or perhaps the body is in some strange location, or they don't want us to know how he actually died, things like that. So she was just on Faulkner's show. This is on Fox News, and this is what she had to say about the speculation surrounding her husband's burial place.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing.
Yeah, exactly. That hits extremely hard because people do not care. And this is a woman who's grieving the loss of the horrific murder of her husband. Something terrible that nobody, again, should ever have to go through. And so she's going to have to process that. And now, all this, because she's a public figure, because her husband was an incredibly large public figure, everything was shown, everything was seen. That is the problem. She does not have time to be grieving in private, per se. She must be out continuing his work. That's what she said she's going to do. That is what she is doing right now. And so she's simply asking for one thing to be left sacred, to be left to her family, one thing to have privately, one thing to have in memoriam of Charlie Kirk without everyone watching. And that is where he is buried. She wants a place where her family can go and safely reminisce over his life, safely, kind of in a sense, be around him where no one else is. That is totally deserved. And there's not a single issue wrong with that. And if you think there is, then you need to do some double checking on what you think is a big issue. Is it his murder, or is it where his body's laid to rest? Because I find that one is much more sinister than the other. And there's so much speculation around where the body is that no one stops to think, even through the logical assumption that it would be they just want a spot where they can go privately to remember Charlie and to remember his legacy, and just have that one gravesite where they can be together. And I think that is what she wants, clearly. And it's incredibly annoying that people don't see that. People choose to ignore that. People also just want to have all the big ideas. Okay? Not everything has to be real crime, okay? You do not have to solve every case on the face of the earth. Okay? There are a few things you can just let go, and you can respect people, and you can not be shoving your head where it does not belong. Stop trying to solve stuff. Stop. You are not Sherlock Holmes, okay? You are not some wise detective. Some things need to be left alone. And where his body is laid to rest is none of your business. Absolutely none of your business. Okay, because if she does disclose where that body is laid to rest, you know people will go and they will ruin it. They will desecrate that place because that's how much they hated Charlie Kirk for simply speaking about the truth. If you think that if you know that they had no remorse for shooting him, then you know they will have no pause before going and desecrating where he is buried. They'll have no pause. There will not even be a second thought. Okay? There's no respect. These people have already attacked memorials set up for Charlie Kirk. Just imagine what they would do to his gravesite. These are not considerate, respectful people. They trash those they hate. They don't have any human decency because they're sick people. And she wants this one place where she can go to be with the body and to have that one special private place. And yet people are freaking out. They cannot even accept that. Okay? If she was not a public figure, this would not be strange. Okay? Like, again, just because Charlie was all over the internet does not mean everything that his wife and family does also has to be all over the internet. You do not have to know where his body's laid to rest. You can leave that alone and allow her some decency and some privacy in some way of being able to remember Charlie without everyone invading and asking their questions and being nosy and just being absolutely annoying. Okay, there's a level of respect lacking here by many people. And it's so logical too. It is absolutely so logical that it's absurd that they're missing it. And it's selfish. Firstly, it's selfish and it's arrogant to think that you are the great detective that can solve all of this. You cannot. Many of you are simply speculating. That's all you're doing because you have no other lead to go on. You are simply speculating about what you think might be happening, and you are most likely wrong. And many of the things being said are absolutely absurd and disgusting. Again, she slams these heartless people. Now the people attacking her silence. She says her silence is not complacency.
I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building.
So, yeah, like, genuinely, she's allowed to be silent about the attacks, okay? She's allowed to be silent because here's the thing. No matter what she does, someone will attack her. Okay, and I'm going to get more on this in a little bit. But literally, regardless of what this lady does, anyone will attack her. Doesn't matter whether it's right or left. Okay? Everyone does anything they can to attack her. They do not just leave her alone. There's no respect, no decency. Okay? She does not have the time to be answering everyone who chooses to come up with stupid conspiracy theories. She does not have time to do that. She does not have time to address all the jerks and all the people that are moronically attacking her. She just does not have the time to do that. So her silence, again, like she said, it's not complacency. And in fact, it is wise for her to not be going after those people and not be answering to that, because it's just multiple rabbit trails that will lead her to nothing and will get her nowhere. And it's incredibly important that she knows what needs to be talked about and what really does not merit the time. And that's one thing. These conspiracy theories about everything, just stop involving her. Okay, just stop. Stop trying to get her attention. Stop. Just stop. If you can have your conspiracy theories, alright, fine, that's okay. Have them. You do not need to try to get them to her, okay? She does not need to see what you're thinking, especially if they are as dumb as some of them are. So just because she's not responding does not mean she's complacent. Okay, she's not gonna sit around and just watch everything happen. No, she's literally, as we speak, traveling and talking and sharing her story and trying to be motivational and trying to be a help to people. And yet the people who hate her, which there are on both sides of the aisles, may I mind you, these people do not give her a break. They don't give her a single second. Not just her family, her 2 kids that just lost their father. Okay? That these desensitized people, again, have no heart for. And Turning Point USA, the Charlie Kirk show, people, like, all of them, they're all being brutally treated right now. Then, she goes on to slam the door on Candace Owens, who's repeatedly given the idea that perhaps some inside person from TPUSA was on the job. And Erika does this without even stating Candace's names, but we're all so aware of how she feels about it. Check this out.
No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
So again, she talks about the hundreds of thousands gained per episode just because of the conspiracy theories about Charlie's death. Again, there's no sensitivity, there's no, let's give her time to breathe. It's like the moment it happened, everyone's just like, jump on it. We all gotta be the FBI now. We all have to be looking into this. We all have to be detectives. No, you don't. No, you don't. You do not. You do not have to do that. Okay? And if you do, you can do it from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go freaking out. And also, it's very important that you have stats to back up what you are saying, and lots of people do not. It's speculation. Charlie Kirk has a new book, Stop in the Name of God. I would recommend checking it out. I myself am really wanting it, so I'll see if I do get it. She went on Sean Hannity's show, and the comments were just revolting. So many people saying she's just acting and she looks way too peaceful for a widow that's grieving, you know. Oh, she's totally fine, you know. She's gaining so much money by all this, and that's all she cares about. Oh my goodness, shut up. Respectfully, shut up. You are so heartless, so brainless to think that a woman who literally, you can watch the first time she went on the Charlie Kirk show, the first time, and they had Charlie come on, and literally she could not take her eyes off of him. She was so in love. This woman was in love. She loved this man beyond words. Words cannot explain it. Okay? She is crushed. Her husband was just shot. And millions of people watched it. They saw it. And you think you are smart by going on the internet and commenting about how she looks like she's just acting, how she's totally fine? How heartless and gross do you have to be? You should be ashamed. If you are one of those people, you should be absolutely ashamed. You have no heart, okay? You have no soul to treat someone like that. To treat someone like a dog like that puts it back on you, okay? That is terrible, and it is wrong. And I hope you sleep very well knowing how you just treated another human being. One who just suffered so much loss. Okay, and like I said, anything she does, either side of the aisle is going to freak out. If she looks too peaceful, okay, the people on the right are going to freak out. Oh, why are you acting so peaceful? Oh my goodness. You're just doing this for a money grab. What are you doing? You know, your husband just died. We love this man. Yeah, she was married to him. She knows what love is. She knows how much one can love that man. Okay, she's very aware. She has 2 children who also are very aware of this. Beyond all that, if she is breaking down and sobbing, like she has sometimes, multiple times actually, because her husband was shot, the left freaks out. Oh, she's just acting. What's this? This is terrible acting. Oh my goodness. Okay, it takes amazing acting skills to cry that much. Okay, incredible. On command, live, in front of people, that takes a lot of skill. A lot. She is not acting that out. Her husband was just killed. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Because I know that anyone could look at me and just be like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're just so young. You really don't know. You should listen to other people and get their idea. In fact, this comes from listening to other people. Okay, this comes from listening to people who constantly criticize her. And my conscience does not allow that. And my research does not allow that. Okay? This is a godly Christian woman. She compared herself to Nehemiah, how he was building the wall, and the people continually told him to come down, and he would not because he was building. This is a woman who has constantly referenced the Bible, shown it throughout her life and Charlie's life. My research tells me this is a genuine woman. People that are close to her know she's a genuine woman. And yet, somehow, people think it's okay. People think they're superior, actually, by calling her out, supposedly calling her out. They think they're superior. No, you're just a lower life form because you're that cruel to someone who just lost their husband. Okay, I don't even feel bad about saying that because it's just true. Okay, you are heartless. You are absolutely heartless. Okay, you are as bad as any person who has watched someone die and feels no sympathy. Okay, you are literally, the way you are treating her, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, you're just as bad as the people who rejoiced when Charlie died. You're just as bad. Okay, do not think, oh no, we love Charlie. No. By disrespecting his wife, you're disrespecting Charlie. You're walking all over his name, mudding it. You're absolutely stomping on him. Stomping on his work, too, because she is the CEO of TPUSA. So think about that. Think about that before you go on the internet and make some stupid comment about how you think she's fake, or she's acting, or she's too peaceful for a grieving widow. No, she's not going to be crying 24/7. Okay? Where's the symbol of strength and perseverance through this all if she's just crying the whole time? Okay, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Everyone has high expectations, through the roof expectations that she will not meet. Because nobody is perfect. Even more so Erika Kirk, who is disoriented after her husband just died. But apparently that's not what matters. What matters is that you know, she's crying enough, or that she's way too peaceful. No, I just can't. Speaking of Charlie's assassination, Tyler Robinson's defense team has asked that there be no cameras present at the murder trial. This is what a Fox reporter had to say about that.
Tyler Robinson's defense is asking that there be no camera during the potential murder trial. But there's an attorney here who is representing 23 media outlets, including Fox News, who is arguing for a camera during the trial. And the argument there is that, the public has a right to know that there is intense public interest in this, and that the media ultimately is a party.
So again, I agree. I totally believe that we should have at least a camera in there the entire time. Of course, this is going to be officially decided in February, but the judge should allow for recording. Because this man went and murdered Charlie Kirk, in front of thousands, and of course it was recorded. Why should he be able to do that, and then we do not get to see justice served? No, I don't think so. I absolutely think we should be allowed to watch this murderer get what he deserves, and I think it's rather ridiculous that we would not be allowed to see that, not be allowed to know what is going on. After all, I mean, this is our country. That was our Charlie Kirk. You know, so many reasons why we should be allowed to watch this. And if we are not allowed to watch this, what exactly is being hidden? What exactly are we not allowed to know? Who exactly is behind all of this? So, again, I totally think that we should be allowed to watch this. I think it's ridiculous if we are not. And again, I will be following that up. I will be checking on that continually with that story. But here's an update on the recent persecution in Nigeria of Christians. We all know that in October of 2025, Trump designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern for their extreme persecution of Nigeria. The president also made statements, and he was threatening potential military intervention to attack these Islamist militant groups responsible for the killings of Christians. He's also announced that he will be restricting visas for Nigerians coming to America that are believed to be involved in the anti-Christian violence and persecution and their family members. The administration is reportedly crafting a comprehensive action plan, including sanctions to pursue reform in Nigeria. Following the president's directive, members of the House Committee on Appropriations and other lawmakers have been investigating the situation to compile a report on ways Congress can support the White House effort. A resolution was introduced in the House condemning the persecution and supporting the CPC designation, CPC being country of particular concern. Again, there have been about 52.2 thousand Christians massacred by Islamists over the last 14 years. That's just 14 years. That's ridiculous. That's an insane number. That's just incredible. And again, nobody was talking about this. Nobody was caring until Trump came along and talked about it. Nobody was caring about it. There have been a lot of recent high-profile incidents. This is including the abduction and subsequent release of numerous school children from a Catholic school, which the U.S. administration and others link to the security crisis targeting Christians. Check this out.
Over the last few weeks, they've been hitting churches with people in them and taking children and worshipers. A watchdog group says in this latest one, the pastor, his wife, and several congregants were abducted. Last month, more than 250 students and 12 staff members were taken at gunpoint from a Catholic school in central Nigeria.
So again, that's totally ridiculous. That's really truly insane and grotesque. That's terrible that is happening. It's hard to believe that is happening in our world today, but that is happening right now. Now they were released, which means obviously Trump's pressure is working. We are seeing it work, and it is functioning well. And Trump already said he is totally all for boots on the ground if Nigeria does not fix this fast. Trump is fed up with this, and so am I. So are most people. You're pretty heartless if you're not fed up with this. Regardless of, I mean, if these people were atheists, 52,000 atheists should not be being massacred, okay? So, it goes for anyone. It doesn't matter who you are. These are still humans, and it's ridiculous. Now, the Nigerian government has really dismissed claims of targeted Christian persecution, stating that the violence is complex and related to broader security challenges, that there is religious harmony in the country. However, that's not true, and they're really under pressure to secure the release of abductees. But, I mean, everyone knows that Nigeria is literally ground zero for the most Christian persecution right now. And globally, I mean, in the whole world, Nigeria is the hot spot for Christian persecution. The Christians who are still living there, still caring, just absolute props to them. All my respect. You guys are incredible. God be with you. I'm praying for Nigeria. May God do a great work. Keep those people safe. Keep his true children under his wing. He has a goal. He has a mission. And he wants to spread the gospel. God is doing everything in his power to bring more people into his kingdom daily. And of course, that is what we should be striving to do no matter where we are, but especially these people in Nigeria have an incredible hard time of doing it. And yet they're still there, still faithful. Truly monumental, and something I would love to emulate, something I strive to be. In Vermont, there is a 14-year-old boy who is running for governor. Check this video out.
Thanks to Vermont having no age requirement for governor, Dean Roy here is currently running to become the youngest governor in American history.
So that's pretty insane. Am I right? Okay, and so I was like, all right, I'm going to go check out this boy. I'm going to see what he's like. He even created his own party. His website that I went on was not really working, so I just kind of like got what I could. But you can see here, Dean Roy from Vermont. Dean Roy is running to become the first governor under the age of 18 and reduce the affordability crisis. Dean Roy is a student at Stowe Middle School and a member of the Freedom and Unity Party. Born and raised in Vermont, Roy has developed ties to his community and city. His plans include consolidating school districts, taxing large corporations and short-term rentals, strengthening ties with Canada and the EU, and keeping Vermont free from those who tried to harm it. If elected, Roy would be the youngest governor in the history of America. Roy's campaign is managed by Charles Bass, and his website is run by Kayla Aurora. Bad grammar there. Is run, but that's beside the point. The point is, he doesn't have a lot on him, and I would like to see more about him. I would love to kind of study him out, figure out exactly what's going on, but his own website, it's not well functioning, and it's not got like a really big. I would love to see everything, where he stands on big issues. I could probably go out there and find shorts, which I may actually end up doing, if he's talked about it. But he's in middle school still. Okay, this dude is 14, and he wants to run for governor. That's really insane. Okay, I'm 16. I'm doing this podcast, but that seems really, really small compared to running for governor of a state. So that's pretty incredible. Regardless of what political party he is, whatever his affiliation, well done. That is a really high goal to reach. He even said if he does not win, it's a lesson he'll learn, and he'll just run again later. So I love the commitment to his state, to his country. Very well done. And I think it's interesting because I was watching the other day, and I saw that, if you go back, our founding fathers were young men. I mean, in their 20s, early 30s. Now we come back to today, and all our presidents are old people. Why is that? Well, because the level of maturity has really changed. And what was like the roof? What was like the ultimate? Like at this age, you should be mature enough to be able to live like an adult. People are maturing way slower. We're having like mature people in their late 30s, 40s. Okay, mature people. Everyone wants to live young now, okay? And no responsibility, just kind of take my life slow. This is a really good step. I want to see a lot more younger people doing this. This is so cool. I want to see America built on its foundation, which is young people. And nobody's too small. Nobody is unable, okay? And this proves it. A 14-year-old boy running for governor of Vermont. And if you say, I can't do something, I just can't do it. I'm sorry, but you can't. Listen, that's literally, that's for me too, okay? Like, I need that as well. It's so easy to get discouraged in life. If you see what other people around you are doing, it might just encourage you to be a little bit better. Photos were released of Trump with Epstein, also Clinton, and others. He didn't seem very concerned about it. He was asked about it, and he said, quote, well, I haven't seen it, but I mean, everybody knew this man. He was all over Palm Beach. He has photos with everybody. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of people that have photos with him. So that's no big deal. I know nothing about it. Super nonchalant, really chill, like, just shrugged it off. Why? Trump does not seem very worried. Okay? He's literally said, just release everything. He does not seem to really care. People have really made his connection with Epstein a really big deal. But you must remember, financially, where Trump is, like, where he is financially, where Epstein was financially, where many of our political people are financially. Clinton, for example, these people had a lot of money, and higher society will mingle with higher society. And just because someone was with Epstein in a certain photo or whatever does not mean they had ties to Epstein. And there's not proof on Trump like there is on Clinton. Now, could things be being hidden? Most certainly. That is very possible. But Trump does not seem worried. And if I were him, I would not be either. If I have nothing to hide, then I'm not going to act like I do, which I think was a really big mistake earlier on, because that's what everyone seemed to think. Oh, they're hiding it because they just won't release the files. Well, they seem to be a little bit better about that now, and that is what they're doing. Slowly but surely, we're gonna get it out there at some point. But Trump, just shrugged it off. Really did not seem to care, which I think is a good approach. You want to have that kind of more calm approach to that, and hopefully he can continue doing his job as president without this interruption. And may those who are guilty truly be found, because those were horrible people. And that's it for today. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. And I will see you all in the next one. God bless.